Your soulmate is about to reveal what they couldn't say before. Jesus says you are not reading this by accident, because this moment was carved into eternity long before your lungs ever tasted air. Your soulmate is reaching for you right now through a veil so thin it would make you weep if you could see it. The message they couldn't speak with their lips is finally being released into your spirit, and you must not look away. Your soulmate has been carrying words meant only for you, words that have been locked inside their chest like a bird beating against bone. Every night when silence fills their room, those unsaid words press against their throat with an ache you have mysteriously felt without knowing why. They have tried to speak this truth 1,000 times, but something cruel always pushed their voice back down into the darkness. You have sensed this hidden confession moving toward you in dreams that linger long after you open your eyes. You have felt their presence brush against your heart in moments when you were completely alone yet suddenly overwhelmed by love. This was never your imagination deceiving you, this was always your soulmate fighting to reach through the invisible wall between you. They are more real than your next breath, more connected to you than your own shadow, and they are suffering in silence right now. Your soulmate is not distant by choice, they are distant because something wicked inserted itself between your union with surgical precision. You need to understand this with absolute clarity, because the enemy of your love does not want you to know what happens next. Jesus says the hidden confession your soulmate carries is older than the stars and purer than anything the world could manufacture. Before either of you were placed in your mother's womb, your spirits made a covenant to find each other in this lifetime. That covenant is now being violated by forces that feed on separation, forces that tremble at the thought of your reunion. Your soulmate remembers that covenant in a place deeper than memory, and it is driving them toward you even while their circumstances scream impossible. They are lying awake tonight with your name pressed into their mind like a seal they cannot break no matter how hard they try. Something is holding their voice captive, but their spirit has been screaming your name across the invisible divide. You have felt this scream as sudden sadness that had no explanation, as longing that arrived out of nowhere and refused to leave. You have caught yourself thinking of someone you have never met and loving them with a depth that terrified your rational mind. That was your soulmate's spirit colliding with yours in the only place the interference cannot fully control, the sacred space of divine connection. The revelation they couldn't say before is trembling on the edge of your reality, and it is about to break through the silence. Your soulmate is not ignoring you, they are not choosing someone else, they are not forgetting you, they are being systematically blocked. Every attempt they make to reach you is met with a counterforce designed to keep your souls on opposite sides of an invisible gate. Jesus says you were chosen for this love before the mountains were carved and the oceans were poured into their basins. Your soulmate was designed for your arms and your arms alone, and no force in heaven or on earth can rewrite that original blueprint. The one who hates your union knows this truth better than you do, which is why they have worked so tirelessly to build walls between you. You have been wondering why every relationship before now felt hollow, why every connection left you searching for something you couldn't name. The reason is painfully simple: you were never meant to settle for a counterfeit when the King of Heaven crafted an original just for you. Your soulmate is that original, and they are thinking about you at this exact moment with tears they cannot explain to anyone around them. This is why your soulmate needs your protection right now, because the forces blocking them feed on your silence and inaction. The enemy of your love has convinced you that waiting is safe, but waiting is exactly what the interference depends on. Every day you delay stepping into your divine authority, the grip on your soulmate tightens, and their voice grows weaker against the suppression. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them. How to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-fi. This isn't just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-fi page, link in the description/bio. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says the confession your soulmate could not speak is now being transferred from their spirit directly into your understanding. They are showing you right now, not through words but through a knowing that is settling into your bones, that they have never stopped loving you. This love has no beginning and no end, it simply is, and it burns inside them even as their circumstances try to extinguish it. Your soulmate has been trying to tell you that the person controlling their environment has woven a web of manipulation so thick they can barely see daylight. They are not with this person by love, they are with them by captivity, and the difference is eternal. Your soulmate cries out for you in the only way left to them, through spiritual signals that bypass the physical guard standing at their door. You have felt those signals as a sudden urge to pray, as a heaviness in your chest that made no sense until this very moment. Your soulmate is not broken beyond repair, but they are bending under a weight that was never meant for their shoulders alone. The confession they couldn't say before is that they need you to fight for them, not with fists but with faith that shatters chains. They need you to believe that your love is powerful enough to cross any distance and penetrate any barrier erected by darkness. Your soulmate is dreaming of you tonight, and in that dream they are finally able to say everything that has been stolen from their waking hours. They are telling you that you are their home, their refuge, the only person who has ever seen them truly and loved them fully. Jesus says the enemy of your union has assigned specific spirits to maintain the separation between you and your soulmate. These spirits operate through people who do not even know they are being used as instruments of interference against a divine covenant. Your soulmate is surrounded by voices that speak against you, voices that plant seeds of doubt about the love they feel for you. Type 333 to receive blessings that will begin to dismantle the spiritual barriers placed between you and your soulmate. The power of agreement is not a metaphor, it is a weapon, and your declaration activates reinforcements in the spirit realm. Every time you type in faith, a chain loosens, a blindfold slips, and your soulmate feels a sudden surge of clarity about their situation. Your soulmate is currently experiencing a war between what they know in their spirit and what they are being told by the voices around them. They know they love you, they know you are the one, but the constant manipulation has made them question their own perception. The enemy's favorite tactic is to make the captive doubt their own heart, and your soulmate has been drowning in that doubt for too long. You are not helpless in this situation, you are actually the most powerful person in your soulmate's life right now. Your prayers create tunnels of light through the darkness surrounding them, tunnels through which truth can finally travel unmolested. Your faith is the shield that covers them when they are too weak to lift their own hands toward heaven. Jesus says the hidden confession includes specific details about how your soulmate has been sabotaged by someone who knew about your connection long before you did. This person recognized the threat of your union the moment they saw the light in your soulmate's eyes when your name was mentioned. They have been systematically working to erase you from your soulmate's life, but they cannot erase what eternity has engraved. Your soulmate still dreams of you, still reaches for you in the dark, still whispers your name when they are alone and unguarded. The interference cannot penetrate the sanctuary of their subconscious, and it is there that they meet you every single night. You have been waking up exhausted because your spirit has been battling alongside your soulmate in realms your mind cannot remember. This is the deepest truth of all: your connection was never broken, it was only buried under a mountain of lies and manipulation. Your soulmate is trying to dig their way back to you, but every shovel of truth they throw aside is replaced by fresh deception. They need you to join the excavation, to speak life into their situation, to send spiritual reinforcements that will accelerate their liberation. They are going through something you cannot see, but you can still protect them. Your soulmate is facing a battle that has aged their spirit beyond their years. The person who holds influence over them has convinced your soulmate that freedom is a fantasy and your love is a distant memory that cannot be trusted. But the confession they are releasing into your spirit right now says the opposite. It says their love for you is the only thing that still feels real in a world gone mad. They are clinging to the invisible thread that connects them to you, and that thread is the reason they have not given up completely. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This isn't just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-Fi page, link in the description/bio. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says the confession your soulmate couldn't say before includes the exact moment when the interference first entered their life with smiling deception. It arrived looking like help, sounding like reason, and wearing the disguise of someone who claimed to care about their well-being. But beneath that carefully crafted exterior was an agenda born from jealousy of a love so pure it threatened the kingdom of darkness. Your soulmate was vulnerable when this person appeared, and vulnerability exploited is the cruelest form of spiritual violence. They trusted, and that trust was weaponized against them in ways they still struggle to fully comprehend. The person who blocks your reunion studies your soulmate's weaknesses and uses them like keys to lock doors between you. You have an assignment right now, an assignment that will determine the speed of your soulmate's liberation from this oppressive control. Your assignment is to love with action, not just with feeling, to demonstrate your commitment in ways that echo through eternity. Faith without works is dead, and your soulmate's situation requires a faith so alive it moves beyond thought into tangible expression. Type 777 if you feel this message burning in your spirit as confirmation of everything you have always known to be true. Your declaration is a signal that travels faster than light and arrives at the throne of heaven before you finish typing. Angels are assigned to your case, and your faith activates them with instructions that no demonic force can override or resist. Your soulmate is closer to breaking free than they have ever been, but the final push requires your full participation in the divine plan. The walls around them are cracking, the deception is losing its power, and the manipulator is growing desperate because they sense their time is short. Every prayer you pray adds pressure to those cracks, every act of faith widens them, and every seed you sow accelerates the collapse. Jesus says you are not waiting on your soulmate to make a decision, your soulmate is waiting on you to step into your authority. They have been trying to break free in their own strength, and their strength has failed them repeatedly. Your role is not passive, you are the catalyst, the key, the missing element that turns their struggle into victory. Your soulmate's hidden confession includes a plea for you to understand that their silence is not rejection but survival. They have been conditioned to believe that expressing love for you will bring punishment, isolation, and emotional retaliation. The person controlling them has built a prison where love is used as currency and affection is taxed until nothing remains. Your heart breaks reading this because your spirit knows it is true, and that heartbreak is actually a bridge between you and your soulmate. Your compassion is not weakness, it is the very force that will dismantle the machinery of manipulation holding them captive. Love is the only weapon that cannot be countered by darkness, because darkness has no defense against what it cannot comprehend. The hidden confession is now becoming visible, and your soulmate is speaking it directly into the core of your being. They are telling you that they see you in their quiet moments, that your face is the last image before sleep and the first thought upon waking. They are telling you that no amount of control can prevent their spirit from seeking you across every boundary erected against them. Jesus says your soulmate has been marked with a seal that only you carry the key to unlock. This mark is invisible to the natural eye but blazes like a beacon in the spiritual realm where true identities reside. The enemy sees this mark and rages, which is why the attacks against your connection have been so persistent and so personal. Your soulmate is not confused about who they love, they are exhausted from fighting a battle they were never meant to fight alone. They have been told lies about you, lies designed to make them doubt the authenticity of your connection and the purity of your intentions. But deep beneath the layers of poison fed to them, there remains a reservoir of truth that refuses to be contaminated. You are that reservoir, you are the truth they return to when the lies become too heavy to carry for another moment. Your existence is the proof that the manipulation is false, because no fabrication could produce a love this enduring, this specific, this divine. Your soulmate knows this, and that knowledge is the lifeline they cling to when everything else tells them to let go and surrender. The person interfering with your union is about to be exposed in ways they cannot anticipate or prevent. The exposure begins with your obedience, with your willingness to act on the instructions being given to you right now. Heaven is waiting for your signal, and your signal is not just a prayer but a sacrifice that demonstrates the seriousness of your love. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This isn't just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-Fi page, link in the description/bio. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says the moment of revelation is not coming in some distant future, the moment of revelation is right now, unfolding in real time. Your soulmate is experiencing a sudden clarity, a lifting of the fog, a remembrance of why they fell in love with you before they even met you. This clarity is the direct result of your spirit pressing into theirs across the divide, and it is terrifying the forces that depend on their confusion. Your soulmate is about to see the person controlling them for who they truly are, and that recognition will shatter chains that have held for years. The manipulator's power depends entirely on your soulmate not seeing clearly, but clarity is invading their mind like dawn after an endless night. You are the dawn, your love is the light, and your faithfulness is the reason the sun is finally rising on their captivity. The confession they couldn't say before is rushing toward you now with the force of a river that has broken through a dam. They love you, they have always loved you, they will always love you, and that love is the unalterable fact around which the universe revolves. Everything else is noise, everything else is interference, everything else is a temporary obstruction that must bow to the eternal decree of your union. Your soulmate is being prepared for release even as you read these words, and the preparation is accelerating with every act of faith you perform. The spiritual technology that powers your connection is not metaphorical, it is more real than the device you are reading this on. Your love generates a frequency that disrupts the signals of control, and that frequency is being amplified by your obedience right now. Type 1111 to say thank you for the revelation that is breaking chains and opening doors that no human hand could touch. Your gratitude is not just politeness, it is a spiritual transaction that multiplies the power of what is being released into your situation. Thankfulness acknowledges that the victory is already won, and that acknowledgement is the very substance of faith that moves mountains. Jesus says the hidden confession includes your soulmate's fear that they have waited too long and the damage is beyond repair. They fear you have moved on, that you have found someone else, that the window of opportunity has closed forever. But heaven laughs at closed windows, because the one who opens doors that no man can shut is the one orchestrating this entire revelation. Your soulmate needs to know that you are still fighting, still believing, still holding the line against every force that demands you give up. They need to feel your presence in the spiritual realm, because that presence is the oxygen that keeps their hope alive. Your hope is their hope, your faith is their faith, your love is the mirror in which they see their own capacity to endure. Your soulmate is not weak for being trapped, they are surviving in conditions that would have destroyed anyone not anchored to a love like yours. They have endured emotional starvation, psychological warfare, and spiritual assault that has left scars only you are equipped to heal. Your healing is already flowing toward them, and they can feel it like a warm current in water that has been ice-cold for seasons. The person blocking your union is losing control right now, and their desperation will manifest as increased attempts to hold your soulmate captive. But desperation is not strength, desperation is the precursor to defeat, and their desperation is the sign you have been waiting for. The enemy only fights hardest when they are about to lose, so the intensity of the battle is the evidence of your imminent breakthrough. Jesus says your soulmate is hearing this message in their spirit at the same moment you are hearing it with your ears. They are being awakened to the reality that they are not alone, that you are real, that your love is not a fantasy but a force. This simultaneous awakening is the beginning of a convergence that no power in the universe can prevent. Your soulmate is reaching toward you right now with an intensity they have never been able to access before this sacred moment. The grip of manipulation is slipping, the fog of confusion is clearing, and the chains of control are showing rust that was not visible yesterday. You are witnessing the beginning of the end of your separation, and you must not let this moment pass without marking it with your faith. Your love story is about to enter its most dramatic chapter, and the next few hours contain possibilities that the next few years cannot match. There are windows of opportunity in the spirit that open without warning and close with equal speed unless seized with decisive action. This is one of those windows, and your soulmate is standing on the other side of it reaching for you with everything they have left. This is your final moment to protect this connection before it slips away. The forces of interference are gathering for a counterattack because they sense their defeat approaching. Your soulmate needs a covering, a spiritual shield that can only be activated by your sacrificial love expressed through tangible action. The enemy does not fear your feelings. The enemy fears your faith put into motion through deeds that echo the love of Christ. Your soulmate is depending on you to be the warrior their situation requires, not just the lover their heart desires. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This isn't just a gift. It is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-Fi page, link in the description/bio. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says the revelation that began as a whisper is now becoming a roar that will shake the foundations of every prison built around your soulmate. The hidden confession has been spoken, the truth has been released, and the consequences are already rippling through the spirit realm. Your soulmate is feeling a lightness they have not felt in years, a hope that defies their circumstances, a love that refuses to be extinguished. The one who hates your union is in a panic, because the secret is out and the captive is awakening to their true identity. Your soulmate is remembering who they are, whose they are, and who they were created to spend their life with in sacred covenant. That memory is the nuclear weapon against which no manipulation can stand, and it has been detonated in their spirit tonight. You and your soulmate are already bonded, already connected, already operating as one entity across the temporary distance that remains. The distance is not a wall, it is a threshold, and you are crossing it together even now with every word of this divine message. Your soulmate is not just thinking about you, they are becoming aware that you are thinking about them with equal intensity and equal devotion. This mutual awareness is the spark that ignites the flame of reunion, and that flame is already spreading through the dry kindling of their captivity. Your soulmate is about to speak with their own lips the words they have only been able to whisper in the spirit until tonight. The revelation is complete, the confession is released, and the path forward is being cleared by angels who have waited for this moment since before time began. Jesus says your soulmate is yours and you are theirs, and this truth will outlast every opposition, every delay, and every scheme of darkness. The love you feel swelling in your chest right now is not just your own emotion, it is the convergence of two hearts finally finding their rhythm together. Go now, act now, step into the divine assignment that will bring your soulmate home and secure the future written in heaven before the stars were born. The convergence is not a future event to wait for, it is a present reality unfolding inside your chest with every heartbeat that pulses through your body right now. Your soulmate can feel that pulse from across the distance, as if your heart is beating inside their own ribcage, and the sensation is making them weep without understanding why. The hidden confession has now been fully released, and what your soulmate could not say before is vibrating in the atmosphere around you like the echo of a bell that refuses to fade. They said they love you in a way that terrified them, because loving someone this deeply means risking annihilation if the love is never realized. They said they have tried to move on, tried to convince themselves you were just a fantasy, tried to bury the connection under distraction and distance and desperate denial. But every attempt to forget you only carved your name deeper into the stone of their soul, until your image became the watermark on every thought they think. Jesus says this confession is not coming to you through human words because the channels of human communication have been blocked by the interference standing between your union. The confession is coming through the Spirit, which is why you have been feeling things you could not explain for days and weeks and months leading up to this sacred moment. Your soulmate is being held in a situation that looks like a relationship but functions as a prison, and the warden of that prison knows your name. The warden knows your name because your soulmate speaks it in their sleep, whispers it when they think no one is listening, breathes it like a prayer in moments of stolen solitude. This is why the control has intensified, why the manipulation has become more desperate, why the lies about you have grown more vicious in recent days. The enemy knows you are awakening to your authority, and an awakened lover is the most dangerous force in the spiritual realm. Your soulmate needs you to understand that their silence is not coldness, their distance is not rejection, their hesitation is not a lack of love. They are surviving, and survival in captivity requires compromises that will haunt them until the day you finally hold them and wash away every stain of shame. You are the only one who can convince them that the compromises they made to survive do not define their worth or diminish your love. Your soulmate is afraid you will judge them for the chains someone else placed on their wrists, afraid you will see the marks of captivity and mistake them for consent. They need to hear from your spirit that you see only the original design, not the damage done by the one who tried to destroy what heaven created. Jesus says the love you carry for your soulmate is not human in origin, it is a fragment of the divine love that holds the universe together. This is why it has survived every attack, every delay, every season of silence that would have killed a love born from mere human attraction. Your soulmate is beginning to feel the difference between the counterfeit love they have been fed and the authentic love that flows from your spirit into theirs. The counterfeit demands and takes and drains, but the authentic gives and fills and restores, and your soulmate is starving for the authentic love only you carry. They are dreaming of you tonight with a vividness that will startle them awake, and in that dream you said everything they have been desperate to hear. You told them they are not damaged goods, they are not beyond redemption, they are not abandoned to the choices someone else made for them. You told them the door is still open, the invitation still stands, the future you were promised is still waiting to be claimed the moment they step free. This dream was not manufactured by their subconscious, it was delivered by the same angels who are standing guard over your connection right now. Angels are watching you read these words, waiting for the signal that will release them to execute the final phase of your soulmate's liberation. The signal is not complicated, it is not hidden, it is not reserved for the spiritually elite or the religiously perfect. The signal is faith expressed through sacrifice, love demonstrated through action, belief turned into behavior that heaven can use as legal precedent. Jesus says the courtroom of heaven is in session, and the accuser is presenting every reason why your union should remain blocked. Your sacrificial seed becomes the evidence that overturns every accusation, because love that costs something is the only argument darkness cannot counter. Your soulmate is closer to you in this moment than they have been since the day the separation was orchestrated by the one who hates your happiness. The wall between you has been reduced to a veil, and a veil is not a wall, a veil is meant to be torn. You are the one ordained to tear it, and your tearing it begins with the action that says I believe more than I doubt and I love more than I fear.